What is up, the world of the living? My name is LaxP and welcome back to Truly Bedrock. Friends, come here. Come closer. Give me a moment. Come closer. Hey. Hi. Come a little bit more closer. Do you like Nether hubs? I love Nether hubs. Wow, how do people play with 30 FOV? I have no idea. Hi guys, yes, the last episode we did this and also bought a whole lot of concrete. Like way too much concrete. All of these shulker boxes, most of them, full of randomized concrete, and today we're gonna put all of it to use. I'm gonna start my personal Nether hub room. Finally, after what? How many episodes? Almost 50 episodes of Truly Bedrock. We will finally connect ourselves to the Nether hub properly, which will finally allow everybody to come visit the town of Moonfall, or you know, what's left to it. I already have the theme for it figured out, and it was actually more or less suggested by you guys, which I will eternally be grateful for. But first, I want to show you the magic of the Bedrock edition of Minecraft. Witness it! Yeah, it's not awfully impressive until you actually realize something about it. Alright gang, so here's what's going on. I wanted my nether portal, my giant portal, to be powered by something. And I wanted electrical wires. So I was thinking, what if we do and then because you know, on the Bedrock edition of Minecraft, the leads don't despawn like they do on the, you know, Java version. Meaning that if I unload this chunk, then load it again, I'm not actually going to do that, it's just for demonstration purposes, then the lead will remain here and it will not pop off. As proven by this lead right here. But Zloy, I hear you ask, how is this lead connecting to this composter? Well, by magic. I should have renamed this chicken Magic, like that's his name, but no. This is Magic the chicken. He is being led currently to that fence post. The range of the leads is not too far, so you can't do that too well without the lead breaking. But even the small distance that we have here is frankly enough. If we time our time just right, then we can put a block over the composter and the chicken will remain inside. And if you don't want your fence posts to occasionally poop out eggs, like this one does, then you can just use that on a boat, because once again, boats are leadable on the Bedrock edition of Minecraft. Meaning that we could get the same effect by simply doing, come on, follow me, you silly thing. Okay, there we go. Hop! Yeah, there we go. We could even connect several wires like that to the same fence post, to the same electrical post by doing this, which is also something that I did back home at the Nether portal. Allow me to just show you it again for a moment. Look. That there are the boats, they are connected to here, but these fence posts have chickens in them, right? Which is how the leads get connected, which is how it looks like it's all electrical wires. And yeah, I really like it. If you are building like a rope bridge or you know, a rope ladder somewhere, this is a very cool and very interesting way of doing it. Also, if you're building a sailboat, then obviously you will have something like that, because leads, well, ropes are all over the sailboats. And yeah, it's just a nifty trick that I remembered after watching Full Symmetry on Hermitcraft make her own, her own power lines using obviously wood and hooks and tripwire. This, my friends, is way better than tripwire. So if you're playing Bedrock edition, yeah, check it out. But it actually has nothing to do with what I want to do with the Nether hub. So I apologize for this quick detour. Let's instead go into the Nether and just take a quick look at what has been done off camera. Hey, look at that! Now I actually have a legitimate tunnel that leads all the way here to my base. A tunnel that people won't have a hard time navigating because it's very straightforward. All they have to do is remember that I am down the purple tunnel, which goes towards the, you know, positive, negative, or something like that. So, you can tell already that I've been using the concrete, I've been deep into the concrete supply, and honestly, I feel a little bit behind, considering that even Silent Whisperer has already completed his nether room. And it's really nice, and it's really good, but you know what it does not really have? That's right, a theme to it. And that's where we're gonna outrun and outplay him. Friends, my nether hub will be basically the headquarters of the Vault Tech initiative. That's what I decided to do because, well, frankly, no one else is doing anything fun, so might as well, right? To remind you, the nether hub this season is basically a system of tunnels and vaults, supposed to be working towards creating an environment for us to survive in after the moon falls. So this is basically an evacuation bunker. A giant dimension-sized evacuation bunker, which is why we don't have a roof every here and there. Just kidding. It's me. It's my fault. I'll fix it. I promise. But my own roof, my own tunnel, obviously needs to be something very official and something really good, because I'm the one more or less in charge of the Nether this season. So what I decided to do is I decided to take inspiration from the game Fallout Shelter, which is obviously a mobile game, but still though I feel we can learn some take some ideas from it. So this is where I want to have basically a set of what Fallout would call overseer offices. This is where the scientists in charge of the entire thing will be. All of the government officials, all of the people keeping the system alive, all of the bureaucracy people will be in here. And yeah, that actually poses a little bit of a challenge, because in the previous versions of Minecraft, I would just go, if I needed a scientist, if I needed somebody smart or a doctor, I would just go for a librarian, because they used to only wear pure white coats. But in the current version of Minecraft, librarians look much different and wear stupid hats, stupid books on their head. So I'm afraid we'll have to take another look at the Village of Revive, because it has like basically one of every other villager, and maybe pick out a different type of guy to populate the more official area. Let's see. Alright, librarians are obviously out of the question because of the book, and also their coat is incredibly dirty in this version of the game. What's their face? Farmers? Obviously a bad choice because of the hat. We do have a little bit of a more stylish hat with the fisherman. If the fisherman is still in here. Yep, he's still here. But I don't like the lederhosen on the fisherman. I mean, obviously he needs them, and they do make him look like an actual fisherman, but it's not really useful for what we're trying to accomplish. I stray really close. I think we could maybe use their blacksmiths, because I like blacksmiths. Mostly because their faces are uninterrupted and they are walking in overalls with little aprons. But I think the winner here, the absolute winner here, are the masons. Look at them. They also are wearing overalls, but their overalls are pure black. And the only tools that they're holding around, they're carrying around, are little mullets. Which, I don't know, you can kinda interpret them as mechanics or scientists or something like that. At the very least, they are wearing gloves, which has to count for something. My problem with them is that their professional block is, well, a saw blade. So I'm afraid we're having ourselves a little bit like a bunch of jigsaw torturer people. But even then, I can kinda suffice, I can kinda live with that. At the very least, they look still more official than anybody else around. And also I want at the very least one weaponsmith. Why? Well, my friends, because they basically also walk with overalls, but they have this badass eye patch. And when you have like several of the weaponsmiths, it looks really weird, because hey, did you guys kind of, you know, decide to poke out an eye or what's going on here. But if you only have one of them, that actually makes him stand out really, really well and really, really nicely. It makes them look like they are the seasoned veterans of a war. So, yeah, I feel that's a great idea. And yeah, guys, you did tell me that the reason that weaponsmiths have the eye patch is supposedly to at least preserve one eye while walking with the, you know, tool sharpener, with the grindstone. And I could buy that if, you know, if the armor smiths didn't exist. Because armor smiths have straight up goggles on them. And if goggles exist, then you have no excuse to be wearing an eye patch. Just get some goggles, dude. They're cheap and they protect both of your eyes at once. So that's all fine and dandy. We have thematically figured this area out. You just now gotta go and build it. But sadly, to build something you have to first destroy something, and that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge considering how high the ceiling is. So I will need quite a bit of done around the area, which, yeah, of course I have plenty of efficiency 5 pickaxes. Actually, you only need a diamond pickaxe with efficiency 3 on it to insta-mine netherrack, and I do actually have an efficiency 3, what's his face, blacksmith back at the base. But we're not back at the base, and also my emerald supply has been dwindling. So I decided that this time it's not gonna be a birthday. This time, my friends, it's gonna be a crack-a-boom. I bet you've already forgot that I'm kind of clinically insane. I bet you also forgot that beds explode in the nether. Wow, it actually cleans up basically the entire thing. Wow, radius on the bed apparently is really, really good. I wonder why we don't use it more often. Honestly, probably because of the fires. Seriously, 8 times out of 10. When I died because I was blowing up something in the nether, I died due to fire damage. I really need to invest into some fire resist potions. This is where I remember that Turtle Master potion exists, and it's made with turtle helmets, so I was like, hey, doesn't Nashcrafter sell turtle helmets? No, Zloy. Nashcrafter used to sell turtle helmets. Back on the Sadly Vanilla Season 3, a year ago. All that blast protection armor I ever made and threw out is slowly coming back to me. Oh, actually wasn't too bad. Yeah, if you place a couple of blocks in front of you, they really do absorb the blast. See, gang, on one hand, if you are not a complete idiot, then this is doable in a way that wouldn't even hurt you that much. You can kind of sorta, you know, position yourself so that you can only somewhat see and reach the bed. Meanwhile, the bed is like entirely embedded in... See? In netherrack. So you don't even get any damage. But on the other hand, if you are not a complete idiot, then why are you trying to do this way? Right? Just dig this stuff with a pickaxe. Okay, area annihilated successfully. Now what? Well, friends, as I already explained, I do have ideas. The problem is that all of these ideas are all scrambled in my silly head. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring back the staple of the show. That's right, something I haven't used basically since Unity SMP. We're gonna take a look. We're gonna take a look tiny bit lower. Yeah, we're gonna take a look, take a screenshot, and put this screenshot into freaking Paint Tool Sci. Check this out. And now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my pen tablet, and the driver to that pen tablet is gonna fail. Be right back, restarting my PC. Alright, this is what I call blueprint mode. It's basically how I keep track of some ideas that I get. So we're gonna basically new layer, fill the new layer with white, make the new layer semi-transparent, another new layer, and on this new layer we're gonna actually mark out what is, just sketch up whatever it is we want to draw. Of course, usually this results in some incredibly silly stuff, but you know, why not? So first and foremost, I obviously, actually, you know what? Let's grab something more visible. Obviously, I want a door at the thing. We didn't get our giant shutting doors on the overworld side, so I'm putting them over here in the underside. This is also how I want to conceal all of the profession blocks, the profession blocks such as the saw blades, because they are gonna be pretending to be cogs moving this thing back and forth down here. This will result in all of the villagers, at the very least all of the ones that are worth kind of keeping, coming back over here and kind of guarding the gates, which is really nice. I hope they will not find their way back into the overworld, as villagers sometimes do. But if they do, honestly, I'm not bothered. The town of Moonfall is welcome to all, except if those all will find their way to the zombies. I will be mildly disappointed in the villager AI. Anyway, all of these people will have to live somewhere, so I will be doing something along the lines of an apartment complex over here. The time in the Nether, the day-night cycle in the Nether actually does exist. You just can't really see it unless you manipulate it using the commands. As a result, villagers will every now and again go back into the apartment complex and out of the apartment complex. It's just that it's gonna happen very rarely because this area will not really be loaded that much, I can probably guess. But every now and again, you will see a couple of villagers just kind of walk into there, and you will be kind of surprised, like, oh, look at that, so they're actually pretending to be useful for once. What else do I want? Well, every single nether tunnel that I created has a rail line over there somewhere. So that rail line will be stopping over here. And there's gonna be like two lines, one leading out, one leading here. And at this line, I want there to be a very angry guy in an eye patch. He's angry because he doesn't have an eye, because he is an idiot and used an eye patch when goggles exist. Yes, I will not let that go. So there's gonna be a villager who will be kind of checking everybody's passports, everybody's documents, figuring out like, are you going towards the town of Moonfall? Okay, let's go. Yeah, basically I have no idea why anyone would wish harm towards the Moonfall, but we're gonna pretend that somebody will. Especially seeing how I'm a bit of a jerk on the server, so people might actually want to blow up my stuff. What else? Well, obviously we'll need his silly thing over here, so I will have all sorts of fun trying to incorporate it into the environment so it doesn't look like a stone cutter. Actually, now that I think about it, I could... it's not a stone cutter, sorry, it's a saw blade. Not a saw blade, it's a grindstone. Actually, now that I think about it, I could absolutely make the grindstone that he uses as his profession block as a part of some sort of a robot that will be standing at the entrance, kind of, you know, pretending to be useful, pretending to be like a golem of some sort. Now, for that design, for the design I want to do, I will need a piece of stone and a skeleton head, and like a regular skeleton head, because they are gray. So, I guess I will have to look if anybody is selling gray skeleton heads on the server. If not, it's not that big of a deal. I can get away with not having it whatsoever and just replacing the block over the grindstone with an observer. Yeah, see. It's gonna be, and it's gonna look even angrier that way. So, still counts. Still counts. But that doesn't answer me what all of this is gonna be. Ha. I mean, I did want all of them to do paperwork. So maybe I will segregate this area here, section of this area here and this area here, as a little bit of an archive with just a bunch of shelving units, a bunch of libraries. Maybe we can pretend to have computer servers over here, even though it is kind of not accurate to the epoch we're trying to go for. We're kind of trying to do the steampunk fantasy more than like computer electronics. But we'll see, I think I'll figure it out. Most importantly, we need, if we get this bit and this bit and this guy right, it will already create enough of an atmosphere for me to feel inspired, for me to kind of pump myself over this project. After all, there is one more idea that I had, and I had it just now, so it kind of defeats this entire segment where I want to have a villager hotel. And that idea is to have the villagers sleep under a layer of glass, pretending to be some sort of a, you know, sleeping chambers for people to kind of go into the, you know, forced suspended animation in hopes that they will be awoken after the apocalypse passes to, you know, repopulate and reuse the earth. That is actually, honestly, it feels like an idea worth exploring in an entire whole new separate, on an entire new whole separate vault on somebody else. But we'll try it out with my one, alright? And if it looks nice, well, then we'll make an entire vault in somebody else's area. For example, FoxyNoTail's one, which will be basically like right here, considering how our bases are located. And if it doesn't, well, at the very least we haven't ruined anybody else's vault, we only ruined mine. Okay, let's commit this picture to memory, everybody, because we're about to have to make this all reality. Here you go, made a checkpoint, and the pigmen instantly appropriated it into their culture. Yeah, it says, show your documents in Russian down there. I don't, yeah, you cannot really see it, but I'm not retyping it, sorry. Because of the formatting, it kind of takes a while. And yeah, I really hope that the villager I'll put here will be very receptive to it. Now I already made the walkway all the way to here, and I will need to sidestep the walkway here. I need to kind of create a separate one for people actually going to their work or going away from having walked all day. So this and this is obviously obligatory, and I still need to create the actual you know, the actual door, the heavy ones, the two heavy sides of a door that will be held together by the cogs. So that's a little bit of a design issue. Gotta figure that stuff out. I don't know, it feels like nowadays 90% of the time I spent doing anything is basically indecisiveness, and then 10% is actually doing stuff and designing things, which is a little bit of a hiccup when you have to release Minecraft videos on a tight schedule. So sometimes I just like to let myself go, not think about the quality of what I'm putting up, and surprisingly, that's generally when I get out my best work. So I'm just gonna let loose and see what it leads to. Probably something awful, but I don't know. The door has been accomplished! Yeah, look at that. Also sketched up the ceiling. Honestly, love that ceiling. After having no ceiling in the center of the hub and at DaphneElaine's place, ceiling is priority number one for this room, because I don't want to have my room of the Nether hub not have just one of the sides of it for forever. And as the practice shows, yep. If I leave something undone right away, I'm leaving it undone for a while. So yeah, would you look at that? It does the thing, nom 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 thing. I don't know if I'm gonna bother to edit this together to visually present the animation of the closing, but I think you can tell that these openings and little outbursts of concrete, oh no, wait, concrete, quartz stairs actually do match these openings, so this would actually close. Moreover, this is 4 wide and a half. This is 4 wide and a half, 5 if you count the outer ridges, and the door is 7 wide, meaning that if their combined wideness will overpower the door perfectly fine. As long as the concrete will hold, we're great. Concrete in Minecraft is actually very much not blast proof. A gust can blow out a concrete. Our first, like our top priority is still switching off the Nether portal and maybe then closing the door. By the way, the door I went out of my way to make it look so that it's closable. We got the grindstones up there, pretending to be wheels, pretending to be useful. We got the stone cutters down here, pretending to be cogs and wheels, and pretending to be kind of pushing them. It is tiny bit awful that the stone cutters can only push into one direction. Okay, two directions. It can do sideways, or it can do this ways. I'm pretty sure if I move it that way, yeah, it keeps the directional rotation, so this door can only close and this door can only open. But we're gonna pretend that that's not an issue, we're gonna pretend that that's as it should be. Basically, we created a giant concrete curtain, and I really like it. Now to create the rest of the room. And so, utilizing all that we learned today, here it is. Well, it. Except for one wall. Also, hi Jess. Yes, hello. Yeah, look at it. Check it out. The basics of the room are set up. Basically, the only thing left is one single wall, which is only not there because I ran out of white concrete, and concrete is a little bit of a, the difficult thing to work with. Difficult thing to get even, because it requires, you know, digging and actual participation and stuff that is boring. Meanwhile everything else is in place. Also, still need villagers, but the ones I did already get in and started leveling up as you know, the stonemasons. Yeah, they found their way back into the Nether portal and are roaming around somewhere in here. I don't actually remember where I last saw them. Anyway, specifically, the room on the other side is basically done. At the very least, it looks super cool as you approach from the rest of the Nether hub. So through here, and you look around and wow, that's so pretty. Just don't turn around, it's fine. Okay, we got the sector A, in which the villagers, you know, cryopods are, and we got the sector B, which is supposedly the archives, or at the very least like the administrative offices of the area. Why can't they be the same sector? They absolutely can, but we wanted something to do with this wall. I also added the same, you know, wire technology using leads from here to there. Supposedly this is something used to power up, or at least transmit signal from the lever here, from this little control panel I attempted to create here. It's fine, it's okay, it gets the job done. Well, okay, it doesn't get anything done, it actually is purely decorative, but you get what I'm saying. Point is, I accomplished the look that I was hoping to accomplish, and honestly, it looks much better than I even imagined. So, just taking a quick look from here, yeah, more or less exactly what I planned on the original blueprint. So, I count that as an absolute win, and I sure hope that you do too. Actually, let's switch it. Yep, that's the angle I want the episode to end on. My name has been SlackLizard, this has been Truly Bedrock. Guys, any advice, any tweaks, any ideas about what to do with the Nether portals room, let it loose in the comments. I will be reading through all of them as per usual. But that's gonna be it for today. Do subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Do leave a like if you haven't. To be continued, have a good one. Bye bye. And I should not be punching air like that, because I will end up punching a pigman. Basic Nether etiquette, Lloyd. Basic Nether etiquette.